Good afternoon and welcome back to Facebook Live here on the Oneida Nation Reservation in Wisconsin. Today is Thursday, December 18th, and I'm Bobby Webster. I'm the PR director for the Oneida Nation. Today we have a very special program for you. We've got guests here that have been around singing our Oneida hymns for generations and generations. So I want to get right into the singing, but let me introduce them. Today we have with us Edna Cornelius Grosskopf. We have Emily, I'm sorry, didn't turn this down. I apologize. We have Emily Johnson. We also have Eleanor Bailey. Welcome, ladies. In our back row, we have Norma Primo, Fred Lightning, and Terry Cornelius. And so we're going to start out asking you to sing a few Christmas songs. Tell us a little bit about how long these hymns have been around. Edna?
I have a differing opinion than what it says on our poster. They said the 1700s, but I was recently reading Kateri Tekakwitha's book, and who is a Mohawk, and got together with an Oneida woman, and they started singing Christian songs in the 1600s. So that, I don't know if they were the songs we sing, but I like to think we've been singing Christian songs for a long time. But we brought them from New York when we came in the 1820s, and we kept singing them at the Methodist and Episcopal Church here, and to this day we carry that tradition on. It's the longest Oneida tradition without ceasing that has proven to exist in our time here.
And what kind of songs are you singing?
These are Christian songs. They talk about our Savior and how we'll all be together when we leave this earth and go to the next world, heaven as we call it, and be with all our friends and relatives that have gone home before us. And it's a joyful time. Some people hear them only at funerals and they have sad memories of them, but we're changing that now when we give them the definition and the translation of really what's happening with us after we leave this earth.
And what kind of events are when it is appropriate to sing Oneida hymns?
We get invited to sing at most
community events.
Yeah, community events, but as far as funerals, they average one a week. But we also do celebrations, community events, but our big thing is wakes and funerals.
Church functions too.
How do you sound so good together? You've been doing this for generations, and it's amazing how beautiful your voices meet.
Well, for this group here, we're all related. We come from the Cornelius line. Eddie and I are sisters, and Eleanor is our first cousin, and our dad and Eleanor's dad were brothers, and they sang in the homes all the time. So we grew up with it. We never have not been singing. And I believe that we have a family blend, which we just kind of have the same sound. And I think we don't just sing at special events or funerals. We get together just for the joy of singing. In fact, when Eleanor's brother's wife passed away, we would go to his house regularly and sing because he was grieving. And it was just a good thing to do, but just not even for the fact that we were trying to help him through this grief. We just always got together for no special reason, just for the joy of singing.
And you also go to the Oneida Nursing Home.
Yes, we do that once a month.
Our elders?
Once a month we go there, is it the second Thursday of every month? Mm-hmm. And we've done that for when my mother was still alive, even at the old nursing home, we sang there once a month also.
So if I wanted to join the Oneida Singers, what do I have to do?
Go ahead, Eddie.
Well, we have practice at the VFW in Oneida the last Sunday of every month at 2 in the afternoon, and anyone is welcome to come and sing there. We'll get you hooked up with a book, hopefully. We're getting some new ones printed soon, and maybe a cassette or an old even CD, whatever we have available. And some of the stuff is being digitized too now, so hopefully that'll make it easier to spread the news. And also we are developing a program called the POD program, which in 2026 hopefully will come to fruition, where we're getting families. We want to give them the music in tape or digitized and a book so that you can have just pods in your home to practice and learn these songs.
And also at the funerals, anyone is welcome to come and sit in and join us at the funerals. And just to be exposed to the singing, they're welcome to join us, at those events.
All right. Well, I know everybody is waiting to hear Whenever we play the songs, they love it. We get comments on how great it is to hear the Oneida Singers. So I'll let you take it away and go ahead and.
We're going to start with some Christmas songs, and then when we finish the Christmas songs, we're going to shorten them up just a little bit so we can get 5 of them in. Then we're going to move to some of the regular songs that we sing usually at the funerals. John got to G, nay.
I think the people listening can hear the melody and they know exactly what you're singing. Beautiful, beautiful song. Thank you all.
Paper, I do. If you want to alone, you know what? Jesus, slow, completes our Christmas songs for today. And the next song that we will sing is song number 140. I like to call it, Lois call us this song because when we sang together, she would always start the song. But a while ago, the language department for the tribe started translating songs in the book to the English language. And so I just want to, taken from what they had translated, I just want to tell you what the English words for this next song is. The name of the song is I Shall Stand Before the Lord. And the English words And this are a little jumbled up, but you know, we can, with the English language, when translated, is always a little different.
Exactly.
So this is basically what this song is saying. Jesus has pity on us. He's calling us, and there we will go. we'll arrive in heaven, we will have life there, we will live again, and we'll meet with each other, and we'll hear the good songs, and we'll be in the Lord's arms. And so I think those words are so comforting if people, when they hear the songs, they only knew what we were really singing. But it is a blessing for them to be able to hear these words and for us to be able to sing them.
I think that translation comes through when you sing. People feel it in their heart.
Well, thank you for that. That's very encouraging. Okay. Jesus es un cuadro.
Dio quali vanega, yasi Dio quatumne, gine samwa hahase.
And your sound wasn't affected. And that song was very soft, comforting tones. Beautiful.
57.
Thank you all so much. This was so beautiful. I think a lot of people are going to be playing this segment over and over and over. We're also on YouTube, Oneida Facebook, so you can watch this segment over and over on YouTube. Facebook doesn't save it as long, but we will have recordings, and we've taken a lot of time to take some photographs and to listen to the songs. It was beautiful. I do have a few announcements before we go to another part of our segment. One announcement is that there are several cancellations. Due to the weather, we've had notices of different events that have been canceled. At this time, they'll be loaded up on our Oneida social media on the Facebook page later as they come in. The Oneida Government Administration office is closing at 3. The main office at Norbert Hill Center will be closed at 3 today. Also, Oneida Transit is closed today. They were closed for previous scheduled training. The Oneida Law Office is also closed for the remainder of the day. So watch our Oneida Facebook for other additions that might be called in. We're assuming a lot of after-school and evening activities may be canceled and rescheduled. We're anticipating freezing rain and icy road conditions. So we encourage everybody to take extra time, plan ahead, check the weather, and make sure that your events are still scheduled or that they are canceled. Just want to say that we also want to close today with another appreciation to you all for coming in on this potentially stormy day. They have another event to go to. They're going to a funeral after here. But also, we just wanted to advise that we have a little video, and this was produced by Oneida Tourism by Chris Paulus. And this is a history, some music, and a little bit more information on the Oneida Hymn Singers. So watch our little video and have a great weekend.
Yo The Oneida Singers have been singing the hymns of the church for years. Their history goes back to our homelands in New York. The late Oscar Archiquette, an Oneida leader and member of the Oneida Singers, talks about how they started.
The history of the United Indian Prayer Singers, as they were called in New York, goes back to the earliest white settlers of the United States.
Translated into the Oneida Mohawk language by Eleazar Williams, an Episcopal missionary, Oscar goes on to explain how Williams taught the Oneidas and how they learned.
The Oneidas used to listen to the singing of white settlers and memorize the tune. From this, they made their Indian words with the tune and music.
When the Oneida people were removed from New York to what is now Wisconsin, they brought the music with them.
I wasn't singing, and I started to learn with Oscar Archiquette when he had classes in 1964. My husband, Everett, asked me to go along with him to listen to and learn how they go about the singing and that. So this was all new to me. He'd write the names down or the words down in the Oneida language, and he let us know how what they were, what they meant, and everything. And then pretty soon he start singing the hymns. Then he gave us a hymn book to go by. So we start learning by that.
How I got involved with the Oneida Singers was in Milwaukee it would have had to have been the late 60s, early 70s. And there were a group of Oneidas that would meet on Wednesday evenings, I believe it was Wednesdays. And my dad always did like Oneida singing, and my mom, my dad, me and my sister would join that group of people, and they met at each other's house. I was between the age of, I'm going to say 8 and 11, somewhere in there. I remember going to their house, Edith Weiland, and it was a lower level, and it was in a living room. And all the adults sat on all her furniture and brought in the kitchen chairs, and the kids all sat on the floor. And then periodically we would get guest visitors from Oneida. I remember Lomas John coming down. He would ride with George Ninham, Ruth Baird, and the old timers. They just really had a good time. I can remember sitting on the floor as a kid and watching one of the old ladies. They would just sing and their eyes would close and they wouldn't be reading the words, they were just feeling the music. As a kid, I used to think, I can't wait to someday to be singing a song with my eyes closed.
That was more of what we were to be responsible for, to sing at the wakes. The words in those songs really talk about, death and love. It's got the Christian focus with Jesus Christ. It talks about beyond, the place beyond, how it's going to be good.
Joe Shankton, former owner of Ryan's Funeral Home, talks about the history his business has had with the Oneida Singers.
Our relationship with the Oneida Singers started back in the 1920s when we first started having the ability to be able to serve from the 1920s up to the present time. And the Oneida Singers were always a vital component. And truly, over the years, our relationships with all of the Oneida Singers has grown into one of mutual friendship. When Bob Ryan Jr., or Robert B. Ryan, died, part of his funeral plans were to have the Oneida Singers sing at his visitation. So Bob was really the only visitation that the Oneidas sang for outside of the Oneida community, and which, of course, the family and us were also extremely honored. When my time comes, I'm hoping that the Oneida Singers will be here for us also.
At wakes, I would go with my mother and dad to some of the wakes also, and they would sing in Oneida at the wakes, but they sang all night then. They would sing all night, and always in, I always thought it was the middle of the night. I'm not sure if it was or not, but they would stop singing and they would have like a little meal for the singers, or for anybody that was there actually, and they'd stop and they'd all eat, and when they got done with that, then they'd go back to singing again.
Well, as a kid, my dad was always singing in Oneida Hymn. And I can remember late at night, I could hear him singing in the dark, in the nighttime. He took singing quite seriously, and I know that his family, he and his sisters, they all sang harmony. They all had different parts to sing. And I knew that when there was a funeral, someone would come to the house and ask for their family, and they would go.
My knowledge pretty much starts with being at the coattails of my grandma Blanche McLester. I remember them having practice over by the church. She would, just walk over and practice singing with them. I'd go along. It was during that time, and that was in the 40s. You just kind of became immersed in it. So you would hear the songs, and if you reached a point where you felt confident enough, you would go and participate with the singers. You got all these elders watching over and listening to you, and you didn't do that right. Kind of give you hell when you needed it. But it takes time for people that want to come in and associate. It's just like joining the band and joining the football team or baseball team. You got to go in and build your reputation, and eventually they accept you.
The tradition of hymn singing is being carried on through the Oneida children, who are learning about the history and learning the songs through the Oneida Arts Program and Music of Our Culture, or MOC.
It's very different now teaching students than it would have been for the elders that are currently singing, because the current elders, a lot of them, their families were just going to church, and you were getting dropped off at church for the singing. I hear a lot of stories of, we'd hang out and someone would start singing one of the hymns, and so then the rest of us would start singing. A lot more of it was happening at home, and it was just an expectation for you. And for our children now, again, we're trying to find that really good balance of getting them to enjoy it, but also making sure that they know it and are taught it properly, because there are so much distractions that exist nowadays compared to when those elders were children learning it. You've got cell phones and tablets, and there's all kinds of instant gratification, really easy entertainment that just didn't exist. So we have a lot more to compete with, which is why I think we have to be mindful of how we're pivoting and adapting to that.
The Oneida Singers have a rich history in our community. They have always been there to provide comfort for families who have lost a loved one, or to celebrate an important event in our community. The children who are learning the hymns through the Music of Our Culture program are the strength and hope that this important tradition is carried on within the Oneida Nation.